So all the folks who weren't able to join us tonight can listen back and get all the great information. So welcome everybody to our Native Plant Festival and Sale volunteer training. We are so grateful to have you all here tonight, and it's exciting for us that you're interested in hanging out with us at our event and lending a hand. It really this event would not be possible without our volunteers. So we really appreciate you taking the time to attend this volunteer training, and we want you to know that we'll keep it as brief as we can because we know you all have busy lives, but there'll be plenty of time for questions at the end as well, and we might get finished a bit early. So for the most of this evening, we just want to talk a little bit about the festival, how it's going to be organized, and we also want to talk about areas where our team would love support and discuss a bit about each of those different support roles and what they look like. So we're just going to walk through that this evening. And so we'll just, before we jump into that though, I wanted to give a quick rundown about the Conservation District. So I'm assuming that many of you are familiar with Thurston Conservation District, but if any of you are new to our organization or working with us, we are a non-regulatory agency, and we work with community members here in Thurston County to manage natural resources. We work with folks to do voluntary incentive-based conservation practices, and that can look like a lot of different things, just depending on what someone's goals are. And you know, we work with a lot of folks in agriculture and help them with sustainable farming practices. We often work with folks who have natural resources on their property, so maybe they have a river or wetlands, and we help them plant native species and do projects to help restore those areas. We also offer lots of educational opportunities for folks. We do lots of webinars and workshops and in-person demonstration trainings. We have a podcast, a monthly newsletter, lots of ways for folks to stay connected with us. But overall, we're here just working in the community and connecting with folks and working to conserve natural resources. So one of the ways that we do that is through our Native Plant Festival and Sale. This is a huge event that we host on a yearly basis. It's always held the first weekend of March, and it has grown into quite an amazing community event. I like to think of it as like the first little bit of spring. It kind of makes me get really excited for starting my seeds and getting my garden going and all of that. So I love the event. Last year, we had over 1,300 folks attend the day of the festival, which was a record-breaking attendance. So we expect similar attendance this year, if not more. This year, we also have more folks pre-ordered plants than ever before. Really the goal of this event is, and this opportunity for folks to purchase native plants is just that, to let people or give people the opportunity to get native plants at an affordable price so that they can implement them or include them in their landscape. And then really, we hope that offering these plants and offering some of the education that goes along with it, we hope that we're really empowering local residents to take conservation into their own hands and use these, like I said, plants on their landscape to help restore and conserve our natural resources, which is a big part of our mission. So that's a little bit about the district and the Native Plant Festival and Sale, and I'm happy to answer more questions about that once we kind of go through the process, but we will just jump to the next slide, and I will hand it over to Jay to start us off. Oh, we can't hear you.
Hi, everyone. My name is Jae, like Kiana mentioned. I work in the Education and Outreach Department at Thurston Conservation District. And plant sale this year, well, every year, is held at the Thurston County Fairgrounds. This year, we're going to have 2 different volunteer categories. So one category will be the pre-order support. So that's volunteers who are coming on Wednesday, February 28th, Thursday, February 29th, or Friday, March 1st. We will also have walk-up support. So that's the folks who are volunteering on Saturday, March 2nd. So it's really important to know the distinction between these two categories because they are similar, but there are some big differences, and we'll get into that in just a second. Can you go to the next slide? Thank you. So native plant pre-order packaging volunteers. Again, these are folks that are volunteering on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday. And next, we'll talk about the layout of the fairgrounds. So when you arrive to volunteer on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, you'll see the entrance down here below by Carpenter Road. You'll see that you can go straight, left, or to the right. We're gonna have parking on either side of the main office at the fairgrounds. So you'll wanna go straight through and park in the back, or take a right and park right in front of that building. Once you have parked and you've arrived, you can walk over to the Peterson barn, which is kind of off to this right-hand side. That's where we'll be packaging the pre-orders. So we'll be packaging everything in the barn. Most of the work that we'll be doing will be in the Peterson barn. So pre-order packaging volunteers, the roles we have for you are mostly packing pre-orders. So Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday shifts are from 12 to noon and or 1 to 4. If you decide you want to do a full day with us, that would be fantastic. We would love that. And you would get an hour break between 12 and 1, so you can get some lunch, hang out, just kind of relax, and then pick up where you left off from 1 to 4. For parking, we do have accessible parking. Like I mentioned, the parking is going to be on either side of the main office building. And for refreshments, we unfortunately cannot provide lunch to the weekday volunteers. However, we will be able to provide coffee and tea. So we would encourage you to bring a reusable water bottle. We will have a cooler full of cold water that you can refill from. And if you want to bring a mug for the coffee or tea, that would also be encouraged, so we can cut down on some waste from the paper cups. The restrooms are centrally located in the fairgrounds, as you can see in the map there in the green square. It is a cow painted building, so it's pretty hard to miss, but just it is a little bit of a walk from the barn, so just be aware of that. We will provide gloves for you. If you have your own, we encourage you to bring them because we have a limited amount. We'll also provide like office supplies, staplers, scissors, anything that you need to package your plants. And of course, one of the perks of volunteering with us at Plant Sale is that you will be able to purchase plants at the end of your shift. So once you've come and you've packaged pre-orders, you're done with your shift, you will be able to order your own plants and skip the line for the walk-up sale, which is a great perk. And now I'll hand it over to Kiana and talk about plant packaging.
All right, thanks, Jay. So I wanted to start by taking a minute to talk about the main character of this event, which is the plant. And so it's really important for you all to know a bit about how we receive our plants and how we end up packaging them. So plants that we receive from our suppliers come bundled. We order them in specific bundle sizes. Some of our conifers we order bundled as 25. Most of our bare root shrubs and trees we order bundled as 10. And we also have herbaceous bare roots and plugs that are bundled in either 10 or 5. We even have a couple plugs that we sell as one single plug, specifically rhododendrons, in our pre-order plant packaging. So we have sort of a varied mix of quantities or bundle sizes. And we sell them in pre-order specifically, we sell them the same way that we have them bundled. So the way that we have them set out, ready to go when you come to help package plants is the way that we will be packaging them in orders. So we won't be taking apart bundles and recounting or anything like that. I did want to put these pictures on here so you can see a couple examples. So the first picture to the left is an example of like 10 bare root shrubs. And in the middle, you have an example of 10 bare root strawberries. And then on the right-hand side is an example of a bundle of 5 plugs. So you can see they have a little bit of soil attached to them, so they're different from bare roots in that way. So the next thing I wanted to show you is an example pre-order. So on this, you can see that I, myself, Kiana Sinner, made this order. You can see I purchased several different species of plants, and I also received more than one bundle of some plants. So I've circled some of the really important pieces that I want to hone in on, and areas that it's really important to be extra aware when you're packaging the plant. So first, you'll receive an order slip just like this, and you'll receive a big piece of paper with a last name on it. So in this case, it would say Sinner. And you first want to make sure that those two papers match. So the last name on the order and the last name on the big piece of paper both say Sinner in this case. The next thing that you want to make sure of is that, as you can notice, I circled that there are a few different bundle sizes. So some of these are bundled as 10, and some of them were sold bundled as 5. So when you package them, you'll be giving them that bundle size. So this quantity on the right-hand side equals 1 bundle of 5. And in the case of the 10 stakes, the 1 equals 10. So this is sometimes a point of confusion for folks. And so we can do some more demonstrations when you do come to help package and talk more about it. But I'm just starting to, wanted to put it out there to get it in your brains to start thinking about it a little bit. The other thing that's important to notice, and I've gone through on all of our order slips and highlighted and bolded or made red text and bolded if somebody got a quantity larger than 1. So in this, it's really easy to just like kind of get in a nice motion and grab one of this, one of that as you go down the list, and then not notice that actually I ordered 3 bundles of 5, which is actually 15 plants total. So that's something to be really cognizant of. And then the last thing I want to note is that we do have different plant stock types. Like I showed in the previous picture, some of our plants come bare root. Some of them come as stakes, which just look like sticks. Some of them come as plugs, which means they have soil around the roots. And we even have some that come as little root fragments. And so they're in just like a little baggie of soil, and they look like it's just a bag of soil, but I promise there's living roots in there, and they make beautiful plants. And so that's just another thing to be aware of. And we'll talk more about that when we actually package the pre-orders as well.
Okay, so now we are going to jump to the day of festival on Saturday. If you're volunteering on Saturday, this information is definitely for you. And we're going to look at another map here. So here we can see the entrance down at the bottom by Carpenter Road. On the day of the festival, we will have parking support guiding people to the parking area, which is off to the left-hand side. It's in the yellow box. When folks arrive at the festival, they will take the path that you can see in the middle of the map with the arrows and the pedestrian graphics. We will have some people who are on parking support helping to guide people through the fairgrounds to the festival, because it's a little bit of a distance from the Peterson barn. So we want to make sure people get there and get there safely. So you can see the restroom is in the middle of the map. It's the cow painted building. And over here on the right, we have the Peterson barn. This is where folks will come to order their plants on the walk-up sale or for the walk-up sale. Once their order is placed, then the order packers will pack the order in the back of the barn here where the green rectangle says order packing. And then the orders will go to the pickup zone. And in the pickup zone, we'll have a whiteboard and a megaphone and lots of ways for people to see that their order is ready after they've enjoyed the festival. The festival itself will be in the Sokolik building down here at the bottom right-hand side of your screen. That's where all the vendors will be. So folks can enjoy the festival and order plants right next to each other. They're adjacent to each other. And then one more thing I want to mention is we do have accessible parking down here at the bottom in front of the main office building. The exit will actually be over here on the left-hand side, Last year, there was some confusion with the entrance and exit. So we want to make sure that we're going to have nice signage, and we want to make sure the parking support folks can guide people to the right exit. All right, so like Kiana said, this is a big event. We had over 1,300 attendees last year, which is just amazing. We're expecting the same turnout, if not more. So the roles for the festival day. Most volunteers will be packing walk-up sale orders. We'll also have parking support, like I mentioned. We'll probably have 2 folks out there with parking, and you'll also have 2 staff members there as well for parking support. The Saturday shifts are a little different from the weekday shifts. The Saturday shifts are from 9 to 1 and or 12 to 4. So again, if you'd like to commit to a full day of volunteering with us, we would love that. And you would get an hour break between 12 and 1, so you can get some lunch and enjoy some time to yourself. Parking we kind of covered. We have accessible parking in the front of the main office and general parking off to the left. For refreshments, fortunately, we are able to offer lunch to Saturday volunteers. So we'll have some pizza there. We will also have coffee, tea, and pastries. Again, we encourage you to bring a reusable water bottle or a mug so we can cut down on some waste, and we will have nice cool water for you to refill your water bottles. The restrooms, like I mentioned, are the cow painted buildings. So you can't miss them, but it's good to know where they are. The supplies that we'll provide, again, will be gloves, any tools that you need, scissors, staplers, all that kind of stuff we will have available. And of course, just like the weekday volunteers, you will be able to purchase plants at the end of your shift. So that's very exciting. You get to skip the line. And if you are volunteering on Saturday afternoon, this is very important. You need to get your plant order sent to me or Kiana by Friday, March 1st, so that we can pack your order on Saturday before things start to sell out. So we will have our emails available. We can drop them in the chat, or I think they're at the end of this presentation.
And I'll just add one thing here, that if on Saturday, if you're volunteering and you are planning to purchase plants, it will actually be before your shift if you're in the morning rather than after, because we want to make sure that you get the plants you want, and they do sell out throughout the day, like Jae said.
That's true. Thank you, Kiana. Yes. Okay, so setup for the festival will be from 9 to 10 a.m. I will be there to provide instructions on which tasks need support from volunteers. Some examples might include setting up the photo booth, posting signage on the roads and around the festival so folks know where they're going, helping partner booths get set up, something like unloading cars. They'll be inside this year, so we won't have to be setting up a bunch of canopies, which is kind of nice. But please ask the vendors first if they'd like help before you jump in. I will be in the Peterson barn. So that's, off to the right on the map, and that's where we'll be packing plants. Okay, so now we wanted to talk a bit about the walk-up sale flow. And so you sort of know how that goes. Folks usually start lining up to purchase plants at around 9:30. The sale doesn't open till 10 a.m., but we usually have a very, very full barn and a full line of people by 10 a.m. when the sale does open. And so that's sort of the first thing. And we have like a table full of order takers. I think this year we're going to have 7 folks taking orders. And as they take those orders and folks pay for their orders, they'll be passed back to who we're calling our plant runners. And then the plant runner will fill the order with the plants in the barn. And then our staff is going to check your first few orders to make sure that the order form matches the packaged plant. Just because some of the little mistakes happen early on, and then if we don't, let you know that we like it done differently, sometimes those can continue and cause a little bit of an issue down the road. And so we're just
working with folks the first few orders to make sure that those are successful. And then those packaged plants will go outside to the order pickup station where Tina, one of our coworkers, will hand them out to the community members who place the orders. So plant runners, if this is the role that you are in during the sale, you will be in the barn, in the Peterson barn, with Jae, who's on the left, as you know, Mara, who's in the middle there, and Sam, who is on the right-hand side here. And they are all TCD staff members. So Jae is our volunteer coordinator, and so they are the person that you're going to want to go to when you have questions or you need instruction. Mara is one of our habitat project managers, and so she's going to ensure that all our plants stay healthy. She's also who you're going to talk to if plants are running low on the quantities, or if you're having any issues with filling your order. Sam will also be in there. He is coordinating our Teens and Thurston members, and so if you are a TNT member and you're on the call tonight, Sam's who you're going to want to talk to. So this is a physical job. It's some repetitive motion, lots of walking, and so we just want to let folks know that. And I think those are the main points that I wanted to bring up here. I guess actually the biggest point that I wanted to mention is that we really want accuracy over speed in this role. We want to give our customers exactly what they ordered, and it really does take time to do that correctly. This is like a little bit of a tedious job, so if you're detail-oriented, you'll do great. And so it's okay to take your time. Sometimes it can feel like you have to rush because there's a big long line of people, but we want to make sure that we're accurately packing orders and not rushing. And so that's just something I like to provide as a little caveat. Okay, so walk-up sale packaging is a little bit different than pre-orders. At the walk-up sale, a quantity of 1 on an order form usually means 1 single plant, not a bundle. Also, the size of the plant does not matter. So sometimes we have tiny little plants, and we have like huge plants like this bare root, I think it's a rose here. And they're still both 1 plant, and so we like to let folks know that. In some cases, we are selling plants as small bundles of 5. So like you can see this fern here on the right-hand side, that is a bundle of 5, and it would be way too small for us to separate and sell as single plants, so we've decided to go ahead and sell those as small bundles. And if we are selling them as small bundles, you will see that noted on the order form, and I'll show you that in just a second. So here's an example of an order form. Again, I placed an order at our walk-up sale too. I just can't keep my hands off those plants. So you can see that we are offering a large variety of plants, which is cool, and also means that we've got a lot of plants to look through when you're filling an order. You can also see that there is a note, like I just mentioned, under a plant if it is not sold as a single plant. If there's no note under the plant, that means that it is sold as 1 single plant. So you can see here that I ordered 12 snowberries, which means you could give me 1 bundle of 10 plus 2 additional single plants, or you could count out 12 single plants, and that would fill my order of 12. I also ordered 3 at the bottom, 3 big leaf lupin. Now notice that those are sold in bundles of 5. So I will get 3 bundles of 5, which is actually 15 plants. Okay. I think those are what I want to mention there. And then another piece of the walk-up sale that can take some time is we like to make sure that we give all our plants to the customer very, very healthy. And so we fill our bags with mulch, and then we put our plants in there, and we like to make sure all of their roots are covered in mulch so that they're nice and moist while the customer transports them to their home. And so Oftentimes we have a few people who are just filling bags of mulch to give to the folks who are actually putting the plants in the bags. And so that's an option if you're interested in doing that, or you want to do that for a little bit of time and switch off with folks. You can definitely do that as well. Again, that's also a physical job, but it's a job that we've got to do. All right, Jay, I'll hand it back over to you.
Yeah, so parking, like I mentioned before, we will have parking support. So we do need some volunteer help with that. Probably just like 2 people, 2 or 3. We'll be partnered with our lead staff, Kendall on the left and Amy on the right. You all will be directing traffic to available parking. You'll also help direct customers or guests to the festival area. If you are in this position and you are welcoming people to the festival, we just want to make sure we welcome everyone with a smile and just make sure that everyone feels very welcome and enjoys the festival. You'll also be directing traffic to exit out of the appropriate gate. I mentioned earlier when we were looking at the map that there was some confusion with the entrance and exit. So we're going to make sure we're very cognizant of helping people get out of the fairground safely. Okay, so lastly, we just want to cover any questions that you might have. You want to first ask your lead. So again, the leads, if you're in the barn, are going to be me, Mara, and Sam. If you're a TNT folk, you'll want to find Sam. If you are just a volunteer, you want to find me. If you have questions, you can also ask Mara. If you cannot, if you are helping with parking, you can connect with Kendall and Amy, like I mentioned. But if you have a question or a concern and your lead is unavailable, busy, running around, doing something, Kiana will be a floater. So she will be handling customer service, helping with restock if we need it. Really anything that needs the support, Kiana will be there to help. So if you have a question and you can't find your lead or your lead's unavailable, find Kiana. She's a helpful person. And lastly, we just want to open it up for questions, of course. We got done pretty quick, so that was pretty good. So we have lots of time for questions. If anyone has any, you can drop them in the chat or unmute yourself and ask them live on the webinar. I'll give you guys a couple minutes to put your questions in if you have them. And thank you so much for attending. We really appreciate all the support from volunteers. And like Kiana said, we could not do this event without all of our volunteers. So thank you so much.
Hi, I have a couple of questions. Sorry, it's really dark in here, so you probably can't really see me. But I was wondering, so I am signed up to volunteer all day Saturday.
Okay.
And I have a number of plants that I wanted to purchase on that day. What I understand is that I should email my order to either you or Kiana ahead of time and then pay for that order on Saturday morning. Is that right?
Yeah, so since you'll be there Saturday morning, you can come prepared with your order on Saturday morning.
Okay.
If you are just volunteering in the afternoon and you'll miss the morning, then we'll need the orders on Friday so we can pack them Saturday morning.
Okay. Is there an order form that I should come with or just get that there?
Kiana, can you answer that?
Yeah, so if you're placing your order in the Saturday morning, we'll have order forms there. If you are placing them, if you're volunteering in the afternoon and you want to send your order to us, then there is an order form online on the plant sale website, which is store.thurstonCD.com. We'll drop that in the chat in a moment. And you also can email Jay or I, and we can send it directly to you as well.
Okay. And then also for like customers and myself, anybody who's buying plants, how soon after purchasing them would they need to be planted? And are there like planting instructions that come with each bundle for people?
Yeah, that's a great question. So we recommend folks plant them within a week, and the sooner the better. And if you aren't ready to plant them in their permanent location, you can do something called healing them in or potting them up. So healing them in is digging kind of like a big trench and putting all their roots in and burying them. So it's sort of like planting them, but you can do that in their bundle that they come in. And then you also could pot them into the proper size pots for their root systems. So those are a couple options if you're not ready to put them in their forever home. But otherwise, we do recommend you do it pretty immediately after receiving your plants. And then we have a postcard that every customer is going to get, whether you're a pre-order customer or a customer that is purchasing at the walk-up sale, that has a QR code to a Google Drive full of resources for where to plant your plants, how to plant your plants, and numerous other types of information that you might be interested in as you're planning your project.
Awesome, thank you. I think my only other question is with the pizza on Saturday, is there going to be a like vegetarian pizza option?
Yes, we will have vegetarian option and omnivore option. So we'll have both. Yes.
And they might not be pizza, but they will be an option for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. Thanks, Paris. Does anyone else have any questions?
Oh, I see Ryan. I signed up for a Saturday afternoon shift. I would like to help out Saturday morning, but can't be there by 9 a.m. Is that okay to come help around 10? For you, yes. No, that's fine. If you do need to adjust your schedule at all, please do connect with Jay to arrange that. But yeah, that's totally fine, Ryan. Thanks for asking. Any other questions? Okay. Well, if there's no other questions, we can probably sign off for the evening. You are welcome to email Jay or myself with any questions that you have in the next couple of days. And we're really excited to get to hang out with you all next week and next Saturday. It's going to be a lot of fun, and I think that you all will really enjoy it. So I appreciate you, and yeah, thank you so much. We'll talk to you later. Have a good evening, everybody.
Thanks, folks.